Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the day shift. Come on in the room. Welcome to the neighborhood. Come on and sit down with me at the dining room table, because that's actually where I am, in my little eating area. And we're getting ready to have some conversation about what is happening around the world and in our virtual neighborhood. So welcome to the neighborhood, neighbors. So happy that you could join me today. Listen, we got a ton of stuff to cover today, but thank you for those of you all who are here, who hung out with us last night for the night shift. Last night, we discussed several different things. We talked about two senators from Arkansas. Remember, we're going through the senators, we're going through their PACs and their super PACs, what their campaign was about, all of the things, and then who those super PACs and PACs are, what businesses or companies are in those PACs and super PACs. And then we dug a deeper hole and we went to find out what it takes to become a super PAC. And then we also decided, why not, Kayshawn and J.R. Bird, let's go ahead and find out about lobbyists and what those folks do when it comes to making decisions or swaying the decisions of people who are supposed to be on in Capitol Hill for your best interest. So we learned about those, and we also learned how easy it is to become a lobbyist. How about that? How interesting. But that's only for the evening. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about a couple of things that have happened in the news. If you have not already seen me twirling around my kitchen, you've seen some of it already, but we're going to go over some of those again. First of all, Wall Street is hiring at fever pitch rates. So battle for top talent right now is pretty high. And because of that, Wall Street is literally touting, and when I say Wall Street, I'm talking about private equity firms. They're touting analysts and others to a specific rule of thumb. And then we're going to jump right into the Choica Act, which is super important. Okay. So what they're doing is they are making sure that when an analyst comes on, like to Morgan Stanley or to JP Morgan, or Goldman Sachs, what they're doing is they are prohibiting these folks from applying for other jobs for at least 18 months. They can't do anything. And then for the first 3 months of their job, is they can't apply for anything. So they actually have a non-compete clause, right? But let's dig deeper, because when it comes to finance and things of that nature, you don't want to be looking for jobs looking for an opportunity with the competitor for the company that you work for, right? Well, guess what Florida did? Florida did the same thing. So there is the Florida Choice Act. Have you heard of it? Let's break it down, shall we? The Florida Choice Act, officially titled the Contracts Honoring Opportunity Investment, Confidentiality and Economic Act, is a law that passed very, very recently and strengthens the enforceability of non-compete and garden leave agreements for certain high-earning employees. What this does is it allows for longer non-compete periods, sit down, for up to 4 years, and provides employers with tools to do what? Easily enforce these agreements, including preliminary injunctions. The law also defines, quote, covered employees or covered employees and covered employers, and outlines specific requirements for these agreements. This is a concern, folks. Now, yeah, I thought, Paper God, somebody caught that. Yes, this is serious stuff, right? So the extended non-compete periods, the Choice Act allows for non-compete agreements to extend up to 4 years. And that is a significant increase, because Florida and in some other states, it's a 2-year limit that you can't work for a competitor, right? So what that does is major multi-billion-dollar corporations can now put out an injunction to say, no, we don't want you to do nothing. Hold tight, because if so, we could sue you, we could take you down, and legally we'll have a right to, right? That's a problem. I don't know if anybody caught that, but that's an issue. So the law is making it easier for employees. Hey there, Penny's Point. How are you? Penny's Point of View. I love that. To obtain injunctions to prevent employees from violating non-compete or garden leave agreements. 4 years is absolutely insane, but that is what's happening. So now this allows the law, it allows for garden leave agreements where employers continue to pay employees during a notice period up to 4 years, even if they are not working. So they can fire, lay off, and hold you Hoosier. Yep. Hostage, basically. They can say, nah, bruh. Now, the act defines covered employees as those earning above a certain threshold, typically twice the county's annual mean wage, and covered employers as those who employ covered employees. So basically those high earning workers. Now, I know when I was laid off from the last job that I ever held, I was given a non-compete for 6 months. Like, I couldn't go anywhere and work in the eye care industry after I was laid off. Nowhere. Period. Hey, Roy, how are you? Hey, Jennifer. Yeah, that's straight talk. But they had, my severance package was pretty good. So I was cool with it. I was like, 6 months? Oh, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and sign that. Y'all don't want me here? No problem. No problem. Yeah, so I couldn't work anywhere. And it was disgusting because I really, really wanted to go back to work, but it worked out. Yeah. So they, and if I had gone to another eye care facility, then they could have sued me. So it looks like it's law. It's officially law, Paper Gods. This happened, let's see, May 21st. So this was law. Yep. May 21st. And sometimes things come across my desk and boom, before you know it, it's like, dag, we missed that? Yes, sure did. This happened May 21st. And here's the thing. DeSantis didn't even sign it into law. He didn't even sign it. It's just law because time passed. Yep, always on something, ain't they? Hey, Natal, how are you? I hope I said that right. There's like a glare over here happening. You know what it is? It's my shirt. It's this dashiki I got on. It's this muumuu of many colors. And it's making, let's 3 bills become Florida law without a signature. So Ron DeSantis, let's dig a little bit deeper into that. Allowed 3 bills to become law without his signature, marking the first time he's done this since taking office. One of those bills was the Choice Act. Strengthens the enforcement of non-compete clauses, extending the maximum time to 4 years for high-earning employees. So for people who are making a specific dollar amount, I don't think that we're talking about people that are making, minimum wage or maybe even $18-20 an hour. We're talking about people that are, six figures and probably above. And also those people who are in those senior leadership or upper echelon of the company and your big decision makers. And so they're holding people like, no, you're not going anywhere. I thought that was really interesting. And I definitely wanted to share that with you all for sure. Now, here's something else. And let me also be clear. You're gonna read about this. Hey, Auntie Star, how are you? So the reason why I wanted to make sure that we talked about it here in the Brownstone is because one thing that we do at Brownstone Worldwide, you're gonna hear about it, but you want to know the truth. And you want to really know what these laws and these bills are, rather than just taking this information and running with it. Thank you so much for that, Kayshawn. It is so important for us to get valid information. Now, after I learned about this bill, of course, the first thing that I want to do is I want to see what other people are saying about it first to see, and I take notes and I say, okay, so no, this is for high earning employees. This is not for folks who work at McDonald's and you're on the front line and you're saying, may I take your order, please, right? This is not for the manufacturer, the manufacturing worker who is packing the boxes or creating the things. Hey, Deals with Nia, she come in, popping. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that, Deals with Nia. So happy Friday to you as well. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you all, because you're going to hear that it's for everybody, and it's not. That doesn't make this right, because 4 years is a long time to have a non-compete clause. 2 years, I think, is a long time, right? 6 months for me, even though I was good, it still was a long time. It was a long time. And I was not happy about that, because I could have went and worked at one of these doctor's offices or whatever. Now I'm like, whatever. Okay. But anyway, okay. So we're also talking about Apple. Let's go over that, and then we're going to dig deep into some other shenanigans. Let me tell y'all what I don't want to talk about, but we have to. What? Now they're saying that this man wasn't born in this country. He was born in Scotland. We don't care. You know why? Because nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Okay, I just wanted to kind of put that out there too. All right, there we go. Apple plans to release a budget iPhone. Not sure if you all have heard about this, but what they're doing is they've understood for a long time Apple is high as hell. Okay, let's just go ahead and put that out there. Who? Carol Sue said who? So it is for Trump. Yeah. He supposedly, when his mom was expectant with child with him, she went to Scotland. That's where she's from. And that's where he was born. And then when they got back to the States, they fudged his birth certificate documents. Sometimes you hear so much stuff about this guy and everything isn't true, right? So I don't like to bring stuff to the table, unless, of course, I'm joking like I kind of am now. But what I try not to do is bring stuff to the table that is not going to edify or benefit everybody. You know what I mean? Like, we're hearing this stuff, and then you're hearing about the Epstein files, then you're hearing about this, you're hearing about that. And it's like, really, like, what are we doing? So I just wanted to kind of put that out there, and we need to remain focused, because right now they want your focus to be off of all the things. Hey, Heather, how are you? Big shout out to Heather in the building. Good to see you. So let's get back to talking about some of the things that are happening right here in the US of A. Apple plans to release a budget iPhone. Yes, they do. And according to Bloomberg, these are cheaper, and MacBooks as well. That's the least of our, exactly, Carol Sue. That's the least of our worries. I could not care less, because at this point, we already know that nothing we say or do at this point, unless, of course, something, an act of right happens, are we going to see anything change or come out of this information that people keep pouring out? And some of this, I kind of feel like, I'm going to go ahead and say this, and people can, do whatever. Right now, people are grasping at straws. They're grasping at straws, throwing anything against the wall, and we need to stop. We need to stick with the facts. We need to stick with what we're able to do and capable of doing. even in the midst of everything that is going on. That's why it's so important for you guys, if you do have the time, to come back and hang with us at night. Samsung, that's you. Okay, that's what's up. But we need to make sure that we're towing the line on getting the information, because they don't want us to do what we did last night because we dug deep. Okay. Now, low-end iPhones and refurbished iPad Airs will reportedly look similar to their previous models, and include faster processors this time. Okay. So, like the little iPhone, what was it? The iPhone 8e or something like that. So they're making a better one. And it'll definitely be cheaper. So something to definitely talk about. Now let's talk about Ford. 850,000 vehicle recalls. You work for Apple and you have a Samsung. Okay. Well, let's talk about their stores. So we were in Houston, right? And the Galleria has this amazing store where they were doing presentations. It was super cute. Hey, the Flavor Rican, how are you? Oh, no, they're saying invite her. No, Flavor Rican, I love her. Have you all had her spices? You worked for him a long time ago? Okay, cool. Ford shatters safety recall record. Ford set a record with the recall of more than 850,000 cars this week alone. Now, this automaker has now issued more safety recalls in the first half of 2025 than any other automaker in a full calendar year. Now, according to Ford, the surge is a good thing. Yes, 850,000 cars, vehicles. Now, they're saying, according to the chief operating officer, hey, it's better for us to do it now because there will be less warranty costs on the other end, and those numbers are going to plummet. And as a result, customer retention and respect will go on the rise because they'll be satisfied because they reached out and said, it's something wrong with your vehicle. And this is not your warranty girl calling you, honey. So Ford shatters safety recall. And remember back in the day, Ford was called the Fix or Repair Daily. Yeah. Was it Fix or Repair? Was that what it was? Anybody remember? Real quick, let's talk about Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's, which we know is owned by Unilever. What? My sister is texting me, and I'm like, what is she talking about? Okay, so Ben & Jerry's has a new CEO, y'all. Y'all know that Ben & Jerry's is very, very vocal on social media of all platforms, right? They do not bite their tongue. So news that's unlikely to mollify the iconoclastic ice cream makers independent board. This CEO is not going to be able to do that. Unilever promoted Choica Act from its European operations, and the board lacked significant input. The two sides have frequently clashed, and we do know that. They bumping heads. I work in the car parts store, and I get new people looking for parts for Ford more than any other ever. Fix or Repair Daily. We always knew that. I'm serious. I've heard that my entire life. Do not get a Ford because it's going to stay in the shop more than it stays on the road. Hey, Derek Glaspie, good to see you this afternoon. So the two sides we know with Unilever and with Ben & Jerry's, they're constantly bumping heads. And remember, they removed the previous CEO, Mr. David Stever, after nearly 40 years with the company. And Ben & Jerry's is part of the Magnum ice cream unit. And y'all know Magnum with the big ice cream and the girl walking across the cars trying to get to a Magnum, and then she opens up the freezer. Who leaves the truck open like that? Wonderful commercial, though. Okay. And here's the thing. Unilever actually plans to do a spinoff this year. Interesting. In the food industry, one of the other things that you definitely need to know is Kellogg's is no longer an American company. Y'all heard about that one? You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it, shall we? Yes, honey. Look at the look on the tall face. Poor thing. Yes. Hey, Miss Lady Girl, how are you? So Kellogg's sold. They agreed to a $3.1 billion deal. I announced this 2 days ago. It's done. It's a done deal. $3.1 billion. WK Kellogg agrees. Oh, this makes me so sad. Hey, Bobby Jean, how are you? Ferrero Rocher. Sure did, Keshawn. Ferrero Rocher bottom right up in a deal worth around $3.1 billion. Now, according to this news source, it says here it's uniting two of the world's most recognizable consumer brands to weather a tough spending backdrop marked by persistent inflation. Do you all know what a box of daggone name brand cereal costs right now? It's almost $7. Good to see you, Bobby Jean. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the neighborhood. Yeah. Hey, Deb, how are you? Hey, T. Yep. So now they're part of Ferrero Rocher. Now, what that looks like, I'm not really sure. But there are some concerns. I've got concerns as a consumer who grew up wishing they could have Kellogg's. So let's talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and look at their website because when I was a kid, we didn't eat Kellogg's. My family couldn't afford Kellogg's cereal. Oh, well then, listen. We didn't have any of it. It was not, if it didn't come from WIC, we didn't have it. You're listening and learning. Wonderful. So glad. You love some Frosted Flakes. We couldn't afford it. We had Sweet Flakes. I'm not kidding. We had Kicks. We had Chex. Yes, we had Chex. It's, so now let's talk about Kellogg's. Kellogg's changed their name. The piece that they didn't sell off is now called Kellanova. So now there's WK Kellogg's and there's Kellanova. So let's head over to Kellanova. Which ones? The Chex? Listen, regular plain old Chex with a bowl with like a little sprinkle of sugar and some banana. You couldn't tell me nothing. There's some fresh milk, ice cold. What? Listen, all right. But wait, there's more. Mars is getting ready. Yeah, corn Chex. Oh, yes. That's what it was. It was corn Chex. Yes, you couldn't tell me nothing about that corn Chex. So listen, Kellanova is getting ready to be acquired by Mars. So Kellogg's got bought by Ferrero Rocher, and the other portion of Kellogg's, renamed to Kellanova, is being acquired by Mars Incorporated. You lived off of Kix? Yes, and Kix, the little store. But let me tell you something. So everybody in our neighborhood, somebody's mama was on WIC. And so she had so much WIC cereal, she was constantly giving it away. Miss D, you want some of this? Miss Phillips, you want some of these cereal? Yes. Come on, give it here, baby, because I got all these foster children. We're going to make sure they eat. Yes. And Mars is a British company. Correct. If he run this water one more time. Jesus. Yeah, because cereal's sugary enough. Let's have candy companies make it. Yes. So now let's talk about the disclaimer, the forward-looking statements. This communication includes statements that constitute forward-looking statements within the meaning of the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. Funny, because we talked about that last night. Section 27A, though we did not, of the Securities Act of 1933 and Section 21E of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, each is amended, including statements regarding the proposed acquisition or / merger, that's what it says here in parentheses, of Kellanova, the company, by Mars. Regulatory approvals, the expected timetable for completing the merger. Girl, I know in the background, he is doing his yes, he is, Kimberly. He got his headphones on and he's turning the water on and off, on and off. He got his headphones on. And I know he can hear me. But yeah, he said, I sure can. Keep on. But thank you. All right. So now this information may involve risks and uncertainties and blah, 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 blah. Right. So basically they have to let us know. So let's talk about what's a part of Kellanova. So Mars and Kellanova are merging. Here's what's going to happen. They're calling it snacking is better together. But y'all know what we like to do, baby. We like to go deep, don't we? We like to know who these companies are, because what kind of information do we need to have when it comes to where our dollars are being spent? Okay? So Mars Incorporated is an American multinational manufacturer of confectionery, pet food, and other food products, and a provider of animal care services, founded on June 23rd of 1911. Okay? They're headquartered in McLean, Virginia. So let's talk about some of the stuff that they have. Let's go to Mars. Pet care, Whiskas, Pedigree, Royal Canine, VCA. Let's talk about some of the snacking, because we know the snacking really, really well, don't we? Mars and the Wrigley Foundation, because we know they snagged up Wrigley too. Three Musketeers, Five Gum, Altoids, American Heritage Chocolate, Ballisto, Bounty, Celebrations, Combos, Double Mint Gum, Dove, Eclipse Gum, Ethel M Chocolates, Extra, Galaxy, Hotel Chocolate, Hubba Bubba Bubble Gum, remember that? Juicy Fruit, Kind. Do you know Kind? Like the little, like it's the chocolate and it's all the nuts and stuff, and it's supposed to be a healthy bar, but it's enough carbs in there to knock you out for a couple of days. Yes. Lifesavers, Maltesers, Mars Bar, Milky Way, M&Ms. Yes. My M&Ms, Nature's Bakery, Orbit, Skittles, Snickers, Star. You get the idea, right? Mm-hmm. True Fruit. I didn't know True Fruit is. Yeah. See, now we're getting it. Natal said, dang. Okay, Winter Fresh Gum, Big Red, Spearmint. That's just the snacks, folks. So now, oh, I love a good research. And then they have food and nutrition. Sit down. Just a few items. Yeah. Hey, Carl Beck, how are you? Let's go into it. Here are some of the items that they have in total. It's oh my God, today. Abu Suf. Don't know what that is, but it looks like it's a Mediterranean dish. Ben's original. Y'all know that used to be Uncle Ben's. Yeah, Coco Villa. Dalmiel, Ebley, Pomacello, Miracoli, Master Foods, Kevin's Natural Foods, Canton, Royco, Seeds Exchange, Susie Wan, and Tasty Bite. Okay. Those are their food, their nutritional food items. That's what they say here. Now, let's go back over here, because now that we know that Mars is acquiring Kellanova, let's look at what this portfolio from Kellanova looks like. And remember, Kellanova used to be Kellogg's. Kellanova used to be Kellogg's. Pringles, Cheez-It, Club Crackers, Eggo, Pop-Tarts, Kellogg's Rice Krispie Treats, and Kellogg's brand cereals. Okay? It's so hard to eat anything, right? So here you go. In a nutshell. Isn't that interesting? All of the things. So now Mars will be absorbing Kellanova. And Kellogg's itself has been purchased by Ferrero Rocher, which is, we know, an Italian company. Interesting, is it not? But the same thing happened when Anheuser-Busch bought all of the beer companies in the US, except for Miller. And I don't know if any of you all are aware of that, because Bush has a ton of brands too. Hey, Sabush, how are you? Come on in. Come on in. We're just having a random conversation. But I think that it's important for us to also understand because we need to find. I know not. Okay, hang on. So let's check and see the brands that fall under that. Okay. Because I know when I was coming up, it was everything was American made, right? But these are not American made anymore. This is owned by Anheuser-Busch, which is not from the US. Bud Light, Budweiser, Kona Big Wave, Michelob Ultra, Stella Artois, Estrella Jalisco is no longer made here. Busch Beer, it is made here, but these are companies that purchase these brands. Natural Light, Busch Beer, Presidente, Landshark Lager, and Hoegaarden. What a name. You're a Napa wine girl. Craft partners are Devil's Backbone Brewing Company, Elysian Brewing, Four Peaks Brewing, Golden Road Brewing, Carbach, Goose Island, Visa Serve, Wicked Weed. And then, of course, they get into water and seltzer. Okay. Hey, RJ Harris, how are you? So the reason why these are so important is because a lot of times we hear companies say we should buy American. I'm sorry, what just happened? Anheuser-Busch has owned these companies for years. No one said anything. Hey, Latour Shakar, how are you? Are you following where I'm going with this? So always, number one, like Kayshawn always says, follow the money. Anheuser-Busch. You're a Pacifico girl, PE? Shenanigans. Yeah. So we always hear, buy American, buy American. You don't even do the homework that's online for you to find out whether or not these people literally own anything. And it's not American owned anymore. It's not. They're the leader of the U.S. beer industry. Yeah, that's what I can tell you. So there you go. Just thought you needed to know that. Didn't know we were going to go down that rabbit hole, but it's most necessary. So yeah. So here we have all of these folks. It's the transaction between Kellogg and Anheuser-Busch is supposed to close at the end of this year. Okay. Super important for you all to know. Now, Kellanova, which owns all the snack parts, which was created at the same time as W. Kellogg when the Kellogg company split into two, is also in the process of being acquired, like we said earlier. And that deal with Mars is $36 billion. I wonder, is that going to help the price of cereal go down? Y'all think? What about gum? Do you know a pack of gum, like 5 gum, is like $3 and some change? No, it's not. Paper guy said, nope, won't see a price change. That much we know. All right. Now, let's get into some other news over here. Let's do a recap from last night before we do that. So last night we talked about Senator John Boozman, Republican, and we also talked about Senator Tom Cotton, Republican. What did we learn yesterday? So let's dig a little bit deeper into some of their PACs and their super PACs. What we learned last night was that a PAC is a political action committee. These political action committees are set up so that people can, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, son.
I didn't even mean to do that.
You're so entertaining. I'm really just trolling right now, like you say. They're used to the background noise.
It was already on cue.
Oh, it was already on cue? Okay. All right. Okay. Whew. All right. So let's talk about the independent expenditure money, and let's talk about Senator Tom Cotton and who gave him money. So first and foremost, let's also talk about who gave Boozman money. You ready? Remember, these are all Republican senators. Who that? My son. He just finished putting the dishes away and scrubbing the stove. So, and I appreciate him for doing that. But that, I'm gonna be quiet. Okay. Senator Boozman, direct PAC contributions to Boozman for Arkansas. Top 10 by PAC dollars. Limit is $5,000 per election. Ready? Beautiful and crazy. Listen. That made you smile. Listen. He love my son though. He's getting ready to go to college. The high school did not send over his transcripts. That's a whole different ball of wax. I was like, are you all for real? Y'all, why y'all didn't what? So he had to go down to the college and sit there. Yes. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about it, but we got it squared away. National Republican Senatorial Committee Party gave Senator Boozman for Arkansas $51,200. These are GOP donors, senators' own PAC money, and it got pooled together, okay? The reason why they have it is because it gets them to keep or and flip their Senate seats within the GOP. Here's another one for Boozman. Tyson Foods corporate gave $24,500. These are executives and salaried staff of the poultry giant. Again, we're talking about PACs here because we didn't go over the full list last night. Farm Bill, this is what they lobby for. Farm Bill, labor and trade rules for meat packers. Stevens Inc., it's a finance company, gave him $10,000. It's a Little Rock investment bank. What is their lobbying for and why they're in there? Capital markets, taxation, and SEC policy. Here's another one, Walmart. $10,000. Retail employees and the board gave money. Import tariffs, wage and supply chain policy. General Atomics, PAC money, $10,000. And basically that's what we used to call, yes, Kimberly. I know. Isn't it something? General Atomics is GD. We call it GD because I lived in Arkansas for 13 years, and it's basically General Dynamics. And it's a bomb making plant is what it is. And it's a defense contractor. They gave $10,000 to him as well. And it's drone and nuclear subcontractor spending. Never stopped at Walmart. They said, be American, buy American, even though 50% of their store is from China. General Dynamics is General Atomics. Same company. Windstream Communications, 10 grand, telecom provider. We do know that. Hey, Crystal, how are you? Rural broadband subsidies and FCC rules. That's what they were lobbying for. Next Era Energy gave $5,000. Utility renewables, grid and tax credits for clean power. Vodasane, small donor conduit, only gave $28.50 to his to him, and crowdfunded donors as a group gave money. Nonpartisan bundling site. Now here's the independent money that was given to him. This is a super PAC. Heartland Resurgence gave him $1,610,600. Conservative donor Richard Ulane's vehicle backs establishment GOP incumbents. American Dream Federation, hybrid company, gave him $1,215,000 and $215,577. Crypto and tech billionaires promoting forward-looking Republicans. Crypto Innovation is a super PAC, gave him $356,213. Coinbase, Ripple, A16Z funded pro-crypto regulation. American College of Radiology. I'm just going to start going through and then we're not yet. Okay. Hey, Clint, how are you? National Association of Realtors. National Wildlife Federation Action. Of course, Crystal. Arkansas Patriots Fund and Reserve Our Rights Fund. Bottom line, here's what Senator Boozman got: $2.18 million in support of outside ads versus the $1.39 million spent to defeat him. Most of it came from big donor conservative and crypto industry super PACs. Okay. So these people gave money and they're greasing palms because these are the people that are in their back pockets. And that's how come sometimes they vote the way that they do. Ain't no sometimes, it's all the time. Yes, millions upon millions as super PACs. Yes. Let's talk about Tom Cotton. You ready? Eli Lilly. Yes, I saw that. Independent. Here we go. Tom Cotton. Here we go. Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs gave him $10,000. Banking and capital markets finance oversight. Lockheed Martin gave him $9,000. Walmart gave him $5,000. Blessing Marine Service gave him $5,000. Murphy Oil, but y'all know who Murphy Oil is, right? $10,000. Senate Conservatives Fund transfers bundles, grassroots conservative causes. Total PAC dollars was $1.9 million. Remember last night we talked about this, and I didn't get into detail like this. We learned that Tom Cotton stayed in office. And remember what we said yesterday, just briefly while we're talking about this? We learned that one of the things that we as people do, Murphy Oil is a part of Walmart. They do business all the time. So like you'll see the little store, but the oil company is Murphy. So even though the store and the oil company are two separate ones, and what they do is they put the store there, and then that real estate is where, that's where you buy your gas, and that's Murphy Oil. So 9 times out of 10, whenever you go to like a Sam's Club or you go to a Walmart and they have the gas station right there, it's Murphy. So they have a relationship. Tom Cotton doesn't even have to do like a lot of work. They don't have to do a lot of work. They don't. Let me tell you why. Because his name is familiar. Senator Tom Cotton, and then you have the other gentleman, what's his name? John Boozman. Tom Cotton, he's going to get voted for just on the strength that he's been in there for so long. How many other senators do we know that's like that? How many other Congress people do we know that we are voting these people over and over and over and over and over again, not because they're doing their job for the American people, but because we remember their name? Exactly. Mitch McConnell, who's another one that you remember right off the rip. Anybody else know? Hakeem Jeffries, he's another one. Who else? Cory Booker, he's another one. Al Green, another one, right? So we're not saying that these people aren't doing good things, but we remember them because their name is said often and has been said for years. Maxine Waters, she's another one. Okay? We're not doing the research and we're not digging far enough down these rabbit holes to find out exactly who exactly is in their pocket. So I thought I didn't dig deep enough. So let me just go ahead and just share this information. I was calling myself trying to rush, and that wasn't cool. All right. So yeah, just thought you all would need to know that. Now let's talk about some of the independent expenditure money for Tom Cotton. NRA Political Victory Fund. Of course we knew that. NRA, protect gun ownership rights, but they only gave him $1,900. Schumacher, yes. So you remember those names, like Kayshawn said, Schumacher, and when you see the name, you don't even have to know who's running against him. It doesn't matter because you remember that name. And that's how we keep hurting our own best interests, because we're not doing this, we're only doing just a little bit of surface. And I know a lot of us are so super, super crazy busy, we don't have time to do this. We're just trusting that the people that are on that ballot have our best interests. But according to this, they don't. Libertarian Party of Arkansas gave him $325. Senate Conservatives only gave Tom Cotton $333. He don't need a whole bunch of money because, like that song say, "Faye, I'm gonna live forever." Baby, remember that. That's why you keep voting for him. So you're doing your research, Kayshawn? Yeah, you got to do the research. The Lincoln Project gave him money too. The Lincoln Project actually gave money against him. Forgive me. So they wanted to defeat him. So they gave $12,732 because they wanted to defeat Trump. Okay. And the Indivisible Project, which is a 501c4, $488 against this guy. Okay. So in total, he got from individuals $23.20. That's just $2,000, right? And there were $13,220 against this dude, and he still won because they remember his name. So remember this: corporate, trade, and PACs or PACs can give up to $5,000 per election. Okay. Hey, Tim Lee. Hey, Snifru. How are you? Company treasurers, execs, and employees, business sector. That's the Tyson meat packers that donated. Membership ideological PACs, same limits, $5,000. Dues paying members. Okay. Single issue or worldview, like pro-Israel, NRA, Senate conservative funds. Super PACs. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. Unlimited independent ads, no candidate checks, $1 million owners, and $1 million corporations can give. High net worth ideological or business interests. Hybrid. One account acts like a PAC, the other acts as a super PAC. So they coming in there like kissing cousins, just holding hands, talking about we in here together. We're in this love together. Right? Okay. Mix of small and mega donors, both direct support and independent ads. And then the 501c4, we talked about that. Social welfare, nonprofit, donor identities are actually hidden for this one. So, hey, B. Rose International Foundation, how are you? And anonymous grants. That's what this 501c4 is for. And so basically, Boozman's cash is driven by agribusiness, which is what Arkansas is known for. So it's known for its forestry, it's known for its trees. It's the only state in the US of A that has every single natural resource that we keep looking for in other countries. It's in the state of Arkansas, the naturals, the stones and so forth. We used to go dig, pay $5, go find a diamond, it's yours. True story. True story. So you can, another natural resource, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Of course, the city is sitting on hot water. And there's another side called Gulf of Gorge, which is nothing but ice cold water. Absolutely beautiful. Spent a lot of time there, hanging out and doing stuff. And beautiful state. They don't pay their people worth a darn. Oh, I'll tell you that. They don't pay their people. Don't. All right. So, and they want our redwood trees here in California. We're like, no, hell no. Right. So I know my dad has been at a timberland company for, almost since I was born. He's been at the same company. Doesn't want to retire. You don't want to retire. He's like, no, I'm good. I'll stay right here because if I go home, what am I going to do? Cotton's 2020 race saw almost no big outside money. The little that came was ideological, like guns and versus the anti-Trump Republicans, not corporate trade groups. And across both senators, grassroots PACs are a minority of dollars. So they didn't get a lot. And the loudest megaphones belong to corporations, billionaires, and well-funded national movements rather than ordinary Arkansas voters. And they want to drill in your area as well. Doesn't surprise me. Now, I know that they're drilling in Arkansas. It's called shale. They have discovered shale. This was almost, 15, 20 years ago. And certain areas of Arkansas are starting to boom because they have discovered oil in the region. And I know when I was a little girl, was it Amoco? I think it was that put a pump on my dad's land and paid him. Years ago, I was a little bitty thing too. But yeah, he talks about that and how they rented to do that to see if there was oil on his property. But yeah, so there we go in a nutshell. And should you be concerned? Yeah, it's just about really doing your homework and finding out who these people are. Right. Suma Job said, my. And I don't know if that's how you meant it, but yeah. Hey, Devette, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So just some information that I thought would be most beneficial to you guys. Hey, Apollo Knights, how are you? Welcome, welcome. On YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. And also on Substack, I see you. So thank you for joining us. So I literally wanted to share that information with you all before tonight because we're going to cover 2 more senators tonight so we can go ahead and get through this list. And then over the weekend, what we're going to do is these are going to become articles on brownstoneworldwide.com. Okay. So just wanted to kind of share that with you, let you know that that's something that you can kind of look at if you don't have time to fully listen, like maybe you're driving or you're working or you're washing dishes or running your vacuum cleaner and you can barely hear, but you can, and you just got me on as background noise or whatever. You'll be able to read that at your leisure later on so that you can get that information and kind of you can share it with other people and so forth. Because again, this is not about what we're not going to do. And what I had to kind of pull back from doing was whenever we were doing Eastern Standard Time between 8:30 and 9, I'll be on live tonight. So that would be like 7:30 to 8 o'clock your time, Natal, if you're Central. Okay. What I had to learn how to do, even when, and that's for those of you all who are new here listening while shopping at Menards. Oh, save big money at Menards. I'm so sorry. That was like the place when I was in Wisconsin living. Anyway, enough of that. All right. So I had to learn how to say, get out of your feelings, because all that's happening right now will have you in your feelings. You notice I haven't talked about immigration or deportation yet, because I'm not ready to go there yet. Because I want to dig deep and I want to find out what I can find out before I just go off the cuff, off of emotion. What is truly happening, and why is it that so many people are retaliating? Because we sick and tired. Okay. But what I don't want to do is incite us to get in our feelings and our emotions. We need to stick with facts and information and think strategically and matter of factly so that we're able to do something to this at the polls. Okay. That's going to be the most important thing. And then here's something else. There are other things that are happening in the world while we're focused on a few of those things, not to belittle anything. Let's be clear, because we do know that there is still a war that is going on in the Middle East right now. We also know that ICE is acting a fool out here and literally physically assaulting people and waking people up in the middle of the night and taking people out of their homes and off of their jobs. And it's just not right. And they're not providing people with due process. This entire thing is unconstitutional. I'll say it once, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it every time I come on here until I'm blue in the face, which is going to be real hard to do, okay? Hear me when I say this. If those people do not walk away now, somewhere down the line, the apple seed that they thought was going to produce a watermelon is going to come for them. And yes, correct, Mystic Winds. We don't need that. We need strategy. We don't need that. Will we talk about it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I only want to be sure that I am providing information that's going to keep you out of your feelings. I can't keep doing breaking news. I'll be crazy. I will be absolutely crazy. I will provide news. I will provide information. We need a safe space so we can strategize and so that we can think. They're bounty hunters. Absolutely. One bounty hunter actually got on the mic at a town hall and said that they are given $1,000 to $1,500 per person that they pick up. That's why y'all picking them up. And you don't care how you treat them. They should never think, and see, I got on the right outfit for me to speak this, okay? They should never think that karma is not coming for them. And it's all races. It ain't just white folks, y'all. Don't get that out your head. It ain't just white people that's doing it. It's black folks. I see Asian folks and Latinos that are doing it as well. And it's not right. And you will reap what you sow. Period. Point blank. And in the middle of all of that, what we won't do here in the brownstone as neighbors, y'all can do what y'all want to, but when you're in this space, we will not incite further more of what I am starting to see. Oh yeah, they're going to reap what they sow. That's why you got to be careful how you do things. Absolutely. They should be, Sabush. They should. It is unfathomable what we are watching. And so when we see people like the folks that were arrested the other day, speaking of karma, did you see that woman that was crying for? Yes, I did. See, some of that is comical because you got the same hat on. We talking about the lady with the hat, Mystic Winds. Cheering them on. You're going to reap what you sow. Mm-hmm. And people can say, oh, FAFO, FAFO. Listen, we all in this together, like Al Jarreau said. Okay? Honestly. And it no longer matters about the F around and find out. We're all in this together. And every time I think about America, I see smoke. And then someone that I know that I'm very dear with actually posted about nobody said anything when this was happening during the Biden administration or during the Obama administration. And nobody said anything when we were talking about Biden's son's laptop. And nobody said anything but how do you know? How do you know that nobody said anything? Exactly, Natal. That's all it is. And I definitely want to highlight that as well, because I actually made a video about that this morning and about how this is really what this is all about. And it is about an absolute awakening of the people. So they posted this thing. And when I say I'm dear with this person, I am dear. She's a very dear friend. Okay. And when I saw the post, I thought, how do you know what people are doing? How do you know that the people that you're sharing this information with, like myself and others, didn't raise hell when Barack Obama was deporting people? Because let's not forget that this guy literally picked up more people than Trump has so far. He deported more. That's a fact. That is a numbered fact. Like, the numbers don't lie. But let's also talk about the fact that in the middle of all of that, we also lost some children we still can't find. That happened during the first Trump administration and during the Obama administration. How did that happen? I'm just keeping it real. Since we want to tell truths, let's tell some truth. I want to know why every time we pay our taxes, AIPAC got their hand out so we can send more of our tax dollars into multi-billions of dollars to go fight a war where people are literally losing their lives for trying to find food. That was happening way before the Biden and the Obama administration. AIPAC been around. Nobody wants to talk about that. But now that we know what we know, now it's okay to do something about it, because we know what we know. Because I'll say it once and I'll say it again. We were asleep. Even after retirement, they still say, hey, Wanda, how are you? Yeah. So we could say, oh, well, you didn't say nothing. First of all, you don't know what I said. You don't know who I called, what congressman I sent a message to. You don't know. What's different now is social media is more in your face. And you can see us when we're talking about the things that we have a problem with. Here's where I am concerned, right? And everybody is due their opinion, okay? But don't ever say that we don't see the wrongs and the atrocities of each one of the administrations. Oh, because I do. Y'all think I'm worried because we had a brother in office? If you did wrong, you did wrong, bro. I don't care. And you did. You did some good, you did some bad. It's simple. And I can't even say, some people say, well, it was more humane. There is never anything humane about ripping up families. Focus on what's real. Immigration reform. I'll say it again. Immigration reform. Why it takes so long for folks to become American citizens. It's disgusting. It absolutely is, Mystic Winds. It's crazy as hell. I understand that. So when we talk about, oh, well, why you didn't say anything and XYZ, social media is so different. We spend more time on social media than we did during the Obama administrations, because he had two, and the first Trump administration and the Biden. We're spending more time on social media now than ever before. And I appreciate you for being here, PE, for real. Thank you so much. So when we have these conversations about what you did or you didn't do and so forth, because social media is media. Back in the day, it used to be something where everybody was doing their TikTok dances and stuff like that. It's totally different now. This is where people are literally getting their news. So it has to be done right. It has to be forthright, and it has to be fair, and it has to be balanced. I can't give you how I really feel, because then what will you be able to do? You should have the right to make your decision based on the information that has been researched by me and the folks on my team, which brings me to welcoming Heather Asanyabi. She is going to be working with Brownstone Worldwide as a journalist, lead journalist, working with us and providing information for us. She comes with over 20 years of journalism experience, and she will be coming into the fold. Actually, she's already a part of the fold and has been. And we're just bringing her out more to the front because she is the bomb.com. She's also a Wisconsin girl like me, and we went to rival high schools, and somehow we collided. So good to have her aboard. But yeah, we're going to be working on making sure that you get the information that you need and you make a decision on what you want to do. It's on you. I never want to lead anybody one way or another. You make a decision. Where I am concerned is there are so many people. Hey, Miss 123, how are you? Thank you so much for sharing the live. I appreciate you guys. What we definitely want to look at is now people are starting to fight back. Now they're mad. And they're like, you're not going to continue to keep coming into our communities. You're not going to continue to keep doing this to our people and our neighbors, right? And so now they're starting to do things that with their bare hands. And that's disconcerting to me because that's dangerous. And it's setting a dangerous precedent for others to follow, which I will not abdicate for. I understand that we're angry. I understand that we're mad. I understand that we're ticked off. Tom Rogan, or whatever this dude's name, that's the head of ICE, he is so gleeful and joyful about what is currently happening right now. He is another one that is expecting a watermelon from an apple seed. And he too shall find out. And shall is a what? A command. Words never come back void in my favorite hoodoo outfit today. Okay? Leave it at that. He is gleeful. He is excited. He is beyond like a kid in a candy store talking about what's going to happen to people when they begin to fight back. Well, when you come into people's homes and you're ripping people out of the arms of loved ones and their lives, there was a woman who's been in the US of A since she was 14 years old. You've been here. She's in her 50s now, got deported. Children, babies, being left alone. So what happens to the children when you're picking up their parents off of their jobs? Explain that to me. Because then here's what you're left with while everybody's rah-rah sis boom buying like this is like the Hunger Games live. You know what I mean? What happens to what's left behind? Because this is not a movie series called Left Behind. What happens to those people? What happens to the entire economy? Because best believe, America, that we haven't seen the impact of what this will do to our economy yet, but it's coming. The people that feed us, the people that go into those fields and make sure that fruits and vegetables are harvested in a timely manner. Oh, we ain't seen nothing yet, but the trickle down is coming. It's on its way. While everybody is pretending that this is a live WWE experiment. And for us to see it because it's being filmed in real time. And that's why these companies are leaving. That's what Natal said. So I really do hope that we're paying attention to all of the things that are happening in Florida. That's all I got to say. Honey, we didn't talk about Florida yet. We haven't talked about Florida yet. Because I got notes here. And I was supposed to be talking about Oklahoma, America. So if you're a teacher and you're moving to Oklahoma and you want to teach, baby, they got a whole test they want you to teach. They want you to take to find out whether or not you woke. Did y'all hear about that? Okay. It's a thing. And the test is done by PragerU. Yep. Hang on, folks. They're going to vet incoming teachers. Yeah. Oklahoma State Department of Education announced a new partnership with PragerU to vet teachers coming to the Sooner State. The OSDE is partnering with the conservative group to develop an assessment for teachers relocating from states with, quote, progressive education policies. I need a drink. I need to drink my lemonade. Y'all, I made lemonade today so I could sit outside on my back porch and it got so hot I just came back in the house. Listen. So, yeah. Deals with this and woo, they're putting mental health care under Department of Corrections in Oklahoma in July. Lord have mercy. You sick, Kimberly? So the OSDE is partnering with a conservative group to develop an assessment for teachers relocating from states with progressive education policies. The department said the assessment will evaluate teachers on their knowledge of the U.S. Constitution, their understanding of American exceptionalism, and their grasp of fundamental biological differences between boys and girls. PragerU and the OSDE will finalize the assessment standards in the coming weeks. OSDE officials said the initiative falls in line with, quote, the Trump administration's America First agenda. We're sending a clear message. Oklahoma schools will not be a haven for woke agendas pushed in places like California and New York. State Superintendent Ryan Walters said in a news release, if you want to teach here, you better know the Constitution, respect what makes America great, and understand basic biology. We're raising a generation of patriots, not activists. And I'll fight tooth and nail to keep leftist propaganda out of our classrooms. Guess who got to go? Ryan Walters. You're a nurse, Natal, and you're worried about the ending of programs that will directly affect, you want to go to the state right now? I want to go there right now, and I want to protest. You want to go? Kimberly says she's ready, like right now. Isn't this crazy? You're a nurse in Kentucky. I have family in Bowling Green. Isn't that crazy? I have to let that sit for just a little bit because sometimes this is when I can't, like, I just want to give you the news. Like when you see me do this is the Brownstone Center news. I just want to focus on the news. Because if I take this in, I will go take a nap after I share this information with you. This is too much. So we're supposed to forego everything and just focus on being patriots. They want machines, right? You're in Russellville? Yeah, it's a small world. It really is. Yeah. After my mom passed away, I don't think I've been back though. She was the last. She was the baby. Yeah. So we talked about that, right? Let that marinate. Let that sink in, because this is the kind of stuff that's happening right now. Let me end with this one because this is really. Whoo, my God, today. Told you I made let's talk about the Make America American Elections Great Again bill. Have you all heard about it? You have it? Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from the state of Georgia has proposed a bill that would require proof of citizenship to vote and propose a new census that counts only U.S. citizens while excluding illegal aliens. Yeah. Greene described the bill as a matter of national security and told Fox News Digital that President Trump has told her that he supports her proposal. Among the reforms that the bill would address, proof of citizenship and voter ID in order to vote. mandates a new census, and states will be directed to redraw congressional district lines using only the population of U.S. citizens. You knew it was nonsense, Carol? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're asking states to redraw congressional district lines. What that would mean is you're trying to redraw those lines to benefit the GOP. Okay. Green says the bill will ensure fair representation in election Bingo. Yes, Carol Sue said it. Gerrymandering. Yes. Bingo. See, y'all be reading my mind. I'm telling you. That's exactly what it is. It's the manipulation of an electoral constituency's boundaries so as to favor one party or class over another. That's exactly what it is. These people are wild. Kate Cuss is screaming Menards. Oh my God, today. We don't even know, PE. What we do know is that we're preparing here now by giving these jokers are always scheming, always Miss C2, C123. And this is, y'all, whenever we have people that come in here or like I do little snippets of the video from the live and then people get mad and they get to cussing at me and stuff and I just delete them. Because this is in the news. This is not anything that I set up and I wrote down in my little planner like, okay, this is what we're going to lie about today. No, I didn't do that. This is real stuff. That's exactly what it is. Current census policy includes unauthorized immigrants in the population count to determine how many seats each state gets in the U.S. House of Representatives, which is why she wants to be sure that they redistrict. The government's census website states apportionment is the process of dividing the 435 memberships or seats in the U.S. House of Representatives among the 50 states on the apportionment population counts from the decennial census. Critics of the measure point to the 14th Amendment, which reads, representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. So according to Fox News, they reported that counting only U.S. citizens in the census has potential to reshape, which is what they want to do, the political landscape, with some states getting fewer seats in the House than they currently have, while other states can receive more. I need another sip. Democracy gone bye-bye. But according to the 14th Amendment, they count. According to the 14th Amendment, they count. Okay? Whew. Ron DeSantis also expressed strong support for Green's bill as well. I'm marking off all the stuff I said we were going to talk about today. Okay, Sean said, well, what are we talking about with the 14th Amendment? Let's go ahead and bring it back up, shall we? It was ratified 157 years ago to grant African Americans, Black Americans born in this country, U.S. citizenship is what it did. Okay, that's first. But let's go ahead and let's read it. The 14th Amendment to the United States was adopted on July 9th, 1868. And it was a part of the other two amendments, which are the 13th Amendment, which freed the slaves officially or enslaved Americans, Okay. And then the 14th Amendment gave them U.S. citizenship and gave my ancestors U.S. citizenship. And it also gave, the 15th Amendment gave black men the right to vote, which white women of the suffrage movement were hot as fish grease about. Just wanted to throw that in there. All persons born or naturalized, let me say it again, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person, of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Just wanted to read that. Thank you, Kayshawn. That was section 1. Representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. But when the right to vote at any election for the choice of electors for president or vice president of the United States, representatives in Congress, the executive and judicial officers of a state, or the members of the legislature thereof, is denied to any of the male inhabitants of such state, being 21 years of age and citizens of the United States, or in any way abridged, except for participation in rebellion or other crime. The basis of representation therein shall be reduced in the proportion which the number of such male citizens shall bear to the whole number of male citizens 21 years of age in such state. There are actually 5 sections to the 14th Amendment, but you got it, right? You read it, you heard it for yourself. And if you want to read it, you can go to the Constitution yourself, constitution.congress.gov. That's where I got this from. Okay. That's it. So, of course, yes. Ichigo Kanji, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Here's again why it's important to get facts, because with facts you got power. You had to learn it hard when I was in elementary and in high school. Yeah, everyone should also have a hard copy. Yes. And guess where they got them? If you got a 5 Below in your area, you can actually purchase the Constitution. It's a small version. It's like $5. Go get it. It's actually online as well. You can just download and keep it on your phone if you want to. So just something for you all to think about. So I keep seeing people say, oh, they're illegal. It doesn't say that. The Constitution is clear. Any person, any. So what that tells me is everything that is happening right now with ICE and these bounty hunters is unconstitutional. And when the tide turns, oh, because baby, it will, all of those folks are going to have to answer to somebody's courts. And the Bill of Rights is in this book too, Kayshawn. Thank you. I'm just saying. Just something that you need to know. All right. ICE agents are quitting, y'all. I know you heard about this. Correct? They're leaving. ICE agents reportedly leaving amidst concerns over agency mission and pressure. Yeah. Recent reports suggest that a number of immigrations and customs enforcement agents are leaving the agency or expressing dissatisfaction with the current work environment. You think? Sooner rather than later would be really nice, when the time is right. And I know in our physical flesh, we want to believe that it should happen like yesterday, like right now. But when I tell you, I know in my knowing what I know. When the time is right. And it'll be here before you know it. Keep living. That's what this old guy told me one time when all kind of drama was happening in my life. And I was like, why is this happening? And so forth, sitting on the porch, not sure what I was going to do as a young mother or so forth. And he sat there and he had his little snuff and he had it under his bottom lip. And he was just grinning. He didn't say much to me. We were just sitting there, and Mr. Robert. And he said one thing, keep living. He chuckled and kept right on sucking on his little snuff. Keep living. That's what I'm going to tell everybody that is listening to the sound of my voice. Keep living. Keep living. And as long as you're getting up and you're waking up and your eyes are opening, I guarantee you we will see all of this come to pass. It's so hard to wait for karma. We always hope we get to witness it, but don't usually. We do. We want karma the way that we got the karma. We got it for ourselves, right? For whatever we may have experienced, whether it be good or bad. We want people to experience the way that we see it in our head. You know what I mean? Like the many times that I may be standing near a black skillet and I just want to pick it up and whop somebody upside the head. That's not, we see it. I know I've seen it in my life, and I thought I would never live to see some of the things that when I sit back and I watch all of the things. And that's why I'm always so very, very careful of the things that I do, right? Like I try to be forthright. I try my best to be honest. I try my best to be good to people because I want the same in return, right? Like for real. Like I do. I be, sometimes I just be looking upside folks' heads like, I really would like to just take this skillet and let you have it. But we don't live in a cartoon world. I probably heard somebody end up locked up. So no, I can't do that. So do unto others. That is correct, Carol. So we have to learn how to do unto others. And it will come back. I promise you. We may not see it the way we think we should, and it may take a long time, and it may not. It may not. But the universe is succinct. Do right because it is right. Period. Have his perfect work. And when I tell you it will be perfect, I said this once to my daughter in the midst of something she was going through, and I prayed with her and we did all the things that we do in my household because clearly we practice, okay? That's nobody's business but ours, okay? And I told her this: for the good of all, to the harm of none. Let me say it again. For the good of all, to the harm of none. Remember that. And even though we're seeing harm right now, please understand that when good steps in, it will be for the good of all and to the harm of none. Yep. So I think that's a great place for me to wrap, because I got some podcasts for clients coming up that we got to record. But I have really enjoyed this time with y'all today. Please understand that I'm not here to fearmonger. That's not what we do here. We're all neighbors here. You're people in the neighborhood. Yes, I will be coming back and we're going to talk about the people in the neighborhood once again and how you can continue to connect outside of just this area. Of course, Miss C2123. And I'll share with you how to do that a little bit later on this weekend. Big shout out to all of you guys who come and you hang out with us every single day. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up so I can prepare for this first podcast coming up in about 30 minutes. I didn't even realize it was this late. I get to talking and stuff, y'all. And before you know it, the day has gotten ahead of us. All right, so what do we always say before we end every single live? The first thing is we say, thank you so much for joining us here. Go ahead and follow us at brownstoneworldwide.com for news and information that you can use. And then we also tell you to check out Cityscape Radio for sounds you remember, as well as podcasts you'll enjoy. Don't forget Brownstone Living Magazine. Follow us on all things social media at Brownstone Worldwide and the Brownstone Brief, and on Substack, Brownstone Brief, where you can get journalistic commentary and content. We're also over on YouTube as well. And we'll be back later on tonight. Tonight, we're going to pick 2 new senators and do the exact same thing that we did last night and earlier today. And we're going to be talking about who they are. Make sure that you tag somebody, share this live with somebody, let people know that we'll be back later on this evening. Come out and hang out with us, because we're going to be talking about how you can get your own keys to the neighborhood and become a part of the people in the neighborhood. 1, love your life. It's the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because you only get one you might as well enjoy it. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. We'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone boozy and breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone boozy and breakfast with Bernard. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.